Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's Q&A. I hope you had a great week. Welcome back. I saw a really interesting article this morning about a real estate agent that had had his license revoked in Winnipeg for some misconduct, and I thought it would be a really good idea, because I do get questions about this every once in a while, but to discuss what the main rules are that real estate agents must follow, especially here in Toronto or Ontario. So most of you know we follow a very, very strict code of ethics, and there are a million rules that we need to follow. And most of us do so, thankfully. But there are a couple of things that you should probably watch out for just to make sure that you know that everything's being conducted professionally by your real estate agent. The first thing is disclosure. This particular agent I was just talking about did not disclose that properties that he was selling actually belonged to his wife. That is a violation of the rule, because you need to disclose if you have any relationship or any way of benefiting from a sale, either on the sale side or the buyer side, and that's very important that whoever is purchasing the property is aware of that. Makes sense, right? Especially if you are leading someone to, maybe spend a little bit more or anything like that, and meanwhile you have some stake in the property, so very important to know that. The second thing is fairness to all agents, and this is very important because a lot of times when we're in a situation with realtors and they've got a listing, and maybe it's a very hot listing, it is their obligation to also the seller, but particularly to all other realtors, to make sure that all realtors understand that they have the opportunity to participate in purchasing that property on their client's behalf. So let me give you an example. You may find on occasion, this happens to me, where a realtor that has the listing and I have a buyer that's interested, that realtor won't get back to me. I call, I email, I text, don't hear from them. And the reason is because meanwhile they are trying to avoid my call because they are hoping that they will double end the sale themselves. Or in other words, bring their own buyer. And so as a result of that, we find that can be obviously a huge conflict of interest to everyone involved. So very important that we maintain a fairness to all agents and everyone is given equal opportunity. The third thing is all of this drama regarding multiple offers. There are a number of rules associated with this, but one of the most important things that I want you to know is that it is illegal for any agent to claim there is an offer on a property if there isn't. There have been some safeguards put in place, which we could have a lengthy conversation about to make sure that this does not happen. And I'm going to tell you, it probably still does once in a while, but for the most part, I do find most people are ethical and honest about this. So if there is another offer registered on the property, number one, the agent has to let the other agents know, and they need to let the other agents know every time there is another offer registered, but they also at the same time cannot say there's an offer registered if there is not. So it always seems a little bit fishy when you put an offer in on a property that's been sitting on the market for 30, 40 days, and all of a sudden you put an offer in and lo and behold, so does somebody else out of nowhere. But by and large, this is legitimate. You have the right, your agent has the right to ask who that other realtor is and receive a copy of their Form 801, which we don't need to get into details for. So there are ways to get around that to make sure that it is legitimate, but very important for you to know that. And finally, honesty and confidentiality is really important with all realtors with regards to what they tell about their clients. So let's give an example of where perhaps you're selling a property and your clients are getting divorced and they're very desperate to sell the property and get out of the property as soon as they can. It's the agent's responsibility, if they are representing the sellers, to be confidential in the reasons why their clients are moving. Because that could affect the price, right? If someone comes and a buyer sniffs out that there might be great opportunity, they must be getting divorced, it must be a good opportunity for a deal, that could drastically impact the sale. And so for those reasons, it's really important that we are always honest with our clients and confidential. Now, these are just a few of the rules that we have to follow, but I did want to just share some of the more important ones with you based on today's news. And I am here if you have any questions about that. If you want to talk about anything else, you know where to reach us, anybody here on the team. And of course, I always appreciate it if you like and share this video with other people you think might be interested. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.